Yeah, you know when you see this face is a plot I'm taking, I'm still talking all my real nigga shit, buddy. Like, it's not gonna stop. I love doing it. I know you're gonna love listening to it eventually, little hoe. So, I mean, I'm about to continue on with this little chapter series that I'm starting. This about adulting. And I know some of y'all may be looking at me like, you're a little baby. How the fuck is you gonna tell me how to be an adult? But look, I got a little juice. I ain't got no problem spreading. From the people that I've been around and the adults that I've been around, they say I'm very wise. So I just want to spread that shit amongst my community. But yeah, bruh, man, the first little episode was about holding ownership. And you know, once you figure out all the things that you gotta work with, then you into this whole little hellhole of a situation where you got to really start to take action on that hoe. And I mean, what's the point of knowing something when you ain't going to do nothing about it? Like, we all know those people who come up to us and be like, yeah, you know, all you got to do is whoop-de-whoop, X, Y, Z. And then I'm looking at you like, well, why the fuck didn't you do it yourself? Like, why aren't you where you're telling me that I just got to do these things that you so-called, you know? Like, it don't make no sense. So, I mean, if you're going to look at other people that way, then you might as well take that shit and do the exact same thing to yourself. You know all the shit that you got to work with, or you know all the shit that you need to take. Now it's time to figure out, you know, what to do with it. It's cool to know where you want to go, but when you don't know where you're at and you finally figure out where you're at, but there's a whole bunch of shit around you, you don't know how to navigate through that. So at this point, you got to take a step and be like, okay, what's important? And if you don't know what's important that you need to work on first, you just tackle the first thing that you see is up and is going on. I had to realize, like, you know, I was very confident, and I've always been very confident once I actually get in situations, feel confident. And you know, I entered this little situation where shit just always came easy to do and to learn. And I was ahead of everybody. I was faster than everybody. And, you know, everybody was like, oh my gosh, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, I'm typically real calm, collected, real chill at first. But then once you keep boosting my head up, I'm like, you know, thank you. Like, you know, it's just natural. And then, I mean, I just can't help but feel myself. And then, but I started to plant this little seed of cockiness. And over time, it became entitledness that I felt, you know, because people would try to tell me to do something. I'm like, what, I already know this? Or, you know, I will listen to, or, you know what I'm saying, I was cool with the head, so I already knew, like, you know what I'm saying, just that sense of just untouchableness. And I mean, that was for me to realize, like, you know, I eventually ended up quitting that job because of a couple of different things, but I was getting paid good. And I'm pretty sure if I wouldn't have started in that, planted that little seed, you know, I probably would have lasted a little bit longer. Not gonna, you know what I'm saying, say that it was the best decision to make, but it was still a healthy decision to make. So, I mean, that was the first, or I mean, an example I can say that I had to kind of measure out, was this shit, you know, something that I needed to work on, and it was. And then even putting it up on my priority list, like, okay, you feel me acting like this is fucking with my money. So, you know, this is something I need to work on. And then that's exactly what y'all need to do with everything else that you kind of have taken on, as far as figuring out what you got to work with. And it's a very long process. It's a very annoying process. You go in circles, and you got to even be careful to not allow you to make this shit be an excuse, because the very moment you decide to let something be an excuse, you let it become an anchor. Because it's either you got the time to work on it, or you won't make the time to work on it. And that's that. Or it shouldn't just even be nothing that you need to pay attention to, and you throw it out like that's just a flaw of yours, or that's just a situation that you have no control over, so you gotta leave it alone. So, I mean, when it comes into this whole adulting things, there's so many factors, so many different ways that you can go with it. But I'm gonna give you that one little bit at a time, or one little tool in my book that I feel like that has been the stepstone for me.